I bought a duplex, which was like the worst experience. Going to kind of sent me some years back, but you know, I was connected with this contractor. It's supposed to be my first mentor, right? But you know, some things went wrong. He stole a bunch of money from me, put me in a whole bad. Ended up staying with my parents for a while. Really didn't like during that whole thing. There was a point in time where I had like literally like $50 in my bank account.
Dang.
Yeah. Here, man. Thanks for having me. Very honored. Very honored, man. Appreciate it.
Been a long time coming, bro. We've been chatting for a minute.
Yeah. I was excited to come here, man.
Yeah.
Excited.
So Easy's out of ATL. He was born in England, of all places, right? I learned that earlier today. But grew up in VA, grew up in Virginia. I'll let you dive into your story and kind of how that got started in a minute. But what really inspired the move from picking up your life, moving from Virginia out to ATL? Was it inspired by real estate?
Yeah, so, you know, real estate did have a key in that, but, you know, I didn't want to say, like, hey, I've been in Virginia my whole life. I didn't want to be that person, like, hey, I've been here my whole life, I've never moved, I've never experienced anything else. You know, I think life is about experiences, and you got to just try out certain experiences to see how you like them.
Straight up.
Right? And so I said, hey, you know, I was either going to move to Dallas or Atlanta. I went to Dallas. It was just too big for me.
Yeah.
You know, I went to Atlanta. I had family here, and it was also closer to home, too. And it just kind of worked out. So, you know, I decided to move to Atlanta.
And you got a mix of like the southern hospitality mixed with big city vibes. You got kind of the best of both worlds, right?
Best of both worlds, and you got great food.
Yeah.
You know, you can't beat that.
Love it,
Can't
man.
beat that.
And you got Braves baseball. You got Atlanta Hawks.
Shout out to the Braves. Just won the World Series. Yeah.
You guys are doing
That was crazy. Yeah, I got the Hawks. Got all the major league teams there.
Yeah.
So it's a great time, man.
You're living it, bro. You're doing the whole bachelor thing too.
Yeah, it's like it was good. Like it was good in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's good, man. I
That's
can't
what's up.
complain. It's real good,
what's
man.
up, man.
I enjoy myself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Major hub, you fly any, you know, Atlanta's biggest airport. Out there, you fly anywhere, so I'm always on the road traveling. So
Yeah.
I love it, man. Love it.
Yeah, Atlanta's got a cool feel, man. Just walking through the city, it's like big skyscrapers built on top of little like bridge. Like, man, it's so intricately designed, especially when you get in like the Buckhead area, bro. Like, sick, bro. I walk through there just jaw dropping, bro, checking out these city blocks. It's cool.
Yeah, that's nice here, man. I love it. I enjoy it.
That's what's up, man. Let's talk about your journey into real estate. Like, where did it start?
So I think it was about like 2018. I had bought my first rental property, which is horrific story, man. It's terrible. So yeah, 2018, I had bought my first rental. I used to hang out with this guy because I used to sell cars. His name was Reg. Shout out Reg. You know, he was a realtor. I say, hey, young brother, you need to buy yourself some property, man. You need to get out there. You need to own you some homes. You know, get into real estate. Real estate's where the most, you know, millionaires are made. And so I started doing a little bit digging into real estate. And I said, it's maybe something I could do. And so from there, I bought a duplex, which was like the worst experience. Going to kind of sent me some years back, but you know, I was connected with this contractor. It's supposed to be my first mentor, right? But you know, some things went wrong. He stole a bunch of money from me, put me in a whole bad. Ended up staying with my parents for a while. Really didn't like during that whole thing. There was a point in time where I had like literally like $50 in my bank account.
Dang.
Yeah. So I had got out of that, thank God. And I finished what I started. Finished the project, got both units rented out, and finally got them coming in, bringing in cash flowing. You know, my mortgage was like $650, and I was renting each unit for about $750 a pop. So, you know, the cash flow wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Cash flow wasn't bad once it's finished, but it just kind of left me in the hole, you know. And so from then on, I was like, okay, this residual is really nice, but there's got to be an easier way to do this, right? There's got to be an easier way to do this. And so I was listening to my rental. I was always listening to real estate podcasts. I came across this thing called wholesaling. And I was like, oh, this sounds like something I could do. And that's how I discovered wholesaling. And then 2019, I started wholesaling. Going from there, man.
So early stages of you finding out about wholesaling, right? Light bulb moment. Whoa, you can what? You can get into real estate without a whole lot of money, credit, any of this stuff. Did you stumble into Real Estate Roundup? What got you plugged in with Brent and Adam's network when they had their education going?
Right. So actually, it was a podcast. It was a Max Maxwell podcast. You know, everybody in real estate wholesale knows Max Maxwell. So it was a Max Maxwell podcast, and I see this guy with this cowboy hat on, and he has no internet. Shout out to my man AJ. No internet. And Brent. Shout out to my man Brent. And he's telling the story of like how he's doing like 40 or 50 deals a year, and he doesn't even have internet. And I'm like, man, if he can do this, I can definitely do this because I got internet. You know, so I found out about them. You know, they gave me like the foundation, the building blocks to do wholesaling, and I think that's very important. Like that mentorship, that coaching. When it comes to anything that you want to get, you got to have a coach, you got to have a mentor, you got to have masterminds, just so you can just be dive into that knowledge and that community, right?
100%.
And so that put me on a fast track, a fast track than everybody else, because nobody else was willing to bet on themselves, right? I was willing to do that. I actually went into debt for those, you know, people are scared because those training programs cost, and you don't know if they're going to work out, right? I had to go get a loan just to get into that.
Dang.
Yeah, I put it all on myself because I had just finished my rental. I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
I went to the bank. I said, hey, I need a loan, right? I got a loan.
At least you had credit.
I had credit, right?
Yeah.
So I got a loan. I joined the program, and I was like, I'm invested in myself. I got to get it back.
Yeah.
You got to get it back. So I bet it all on myself. I had it back against the wall. I was like, this is going to work. I have no choice.
That's amazing, bro. Looking back, right?
Yeah.
Looking back to that decision, probably one of the most paramount decisions in your whole life, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It was scary, man.
Yeah.
It was really scary. Like, when you're doing those, it's something different. It's something that's out of your comfort zone. And so when you're doing things out of your, it's not comfortable. You're doing things out of your comfort zone. It's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen if I do this. Fear of the unknown, right? Fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. So you just kind of got to trust God, man, and take that leap. Try something different.
That's where the growth happens, right? Great things happen at the edge of your comfort zone. Very cliche saying, being in the entrepreneur space, we hear that every day, right?
Yeah.
Great things happen at the edge of your comfort zone. But that is truth, man. Like that's a principle that you can pin on the board and live your life by, right?
Absolutely.
Like if you're not constantly challenging yourself, pushing yourself to the edge of that comfort, then you're never going to truly grow into your greatest self.
Exactly.
Right? That's where the growth happens. It's like learning how to fail.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like the opposite of what the world and society tells us we should do.
Exactly.
Right? Don't fail. Don't make choices that are going to put your life at risk or in shambles. Mm-hmm. Don't pull out loans that you can't afford to pay back.
Exactly.
But dude, bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself, man. Nobody else is going to do it. You be the hero of your own story.
Sick.
Nobody else is going to save you but you. Be the hero of your own story. So
go all in, bro.
I had to go all in. And I've been living by that ever since.